Hello and welcome to English Capsules. Today's capsule, Yummy Yummy for My Tummy, Part 2. Get your coffee ready and let's get started.
So, hello everyone. Today we're talking about food one more time. It's not because we're hungry, but it's because it's a topic that, you can develop, right? You can go into different places. So, today we're going to talk about typical food, right?
Yes, typical food in our country, typical food that we know from other countries, and then maybe the typical food in our country that doesn't exist in other countries. Okay, so speaking about our country, we have many typical foods, right?
I don't know if it's because I've got a sweet tooth or what, but the first thing that comes to my mind is dulce de leche.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
like I
was
don't go
thinking about the
to
same.
asado or anything. It's like dulce de leche. I need it in my life. Everyone needs dulce de leche in their lives.
And it is really hard for us to understand those people who don't like dulce de leche. It's like maybe they have a problem. I don't know what is happening with those people, but
Regarding, like, for example, I've got friends here. I think it's not that they don't like it. They don't like it exceedingly. So it's like whenever I'm making a cake and this, I normally use less than I would typically do there.
Ah, okay. Maybe it is too sweet. They find it too sweet. What are for you, the best combinations for dulce de leche? Like, for example, I like eating dulce de leche with walnuts.
So I like it very much as a cake filling. But when you also use some Oporto wine, so I like that mix of flavors there.
Yeah.
So for you, what's the best combo for dulce de leche?
I like dulce de leche from the jar, dulce de leche with walnuts, dulce de leche with a chocolate cake, with any cake. Coconut and dulce de leche.
Thinking how much I miss. It's not something that I would eat every day because it's like super thick and expensive probably. But something that I really miss is toffee, the chocolate. Because that one has got, like, for me, it's the ideal combination of chocolate, dulce de leche, some rum,
liquor,
I don't know.
or I don't know what it has inside.
Yeah. For me, that was like one of these days that you're not feeling super good and you want to eat something that makes you happy again.
Yes.
That was my go-to.
Me too. I really like. I like the white one better than the dark one. Okay. So speaking of sweet things, we would agree that this one is the most typical food.
However, we do have to admit that we share it with Uruguay because they also have dulce de leche.
Okay. Yes.
So it's probably typical of both countries.
In Brazil, there's also dulce de leche, but it is different.
Well, actually, here you can buy it. In theory, the recipe comes from Argentina, but they make it, I think, in Barcelona or somewhere there. And it's like, okay, I get a taste of what I want, but it's not exactly what I want.
We can tell the difference. We are dulce de leche sommelier. Okay, then what about, we were talking about pastry. Speaking of sweets, bakeries in Argentina are really good. And the variety of things that you can find in here is like marvelous. You can find many things. And of course, there are some that are not so good, but in general, they are good. So it's really usual to eat pastry. I mean, for example, kids go to school, and if you have a bakery close to your house, the most probable thing is that you can buy one pastry and they take them as a snack to school.
Well, for me, here there was like a shock because normally people don't have sweet things for a snack in the afternoon.
Okay.
So here it's more common to see them with a sandwich. Ham, salami, or whatever, but sandwich. Okay. So here pastries are not good. at all. Just to clarify, there are some Argentinian bakeries and you can go and you can find the same things that we have there, except for what you call cara sucia and what I call torta negra.
Here, there are some bakeries that don't have them also. It's like, I think it is more common in the east of our country. In the west, it is not so common.
Yeah, one thing that I realized when I started living here is how much of Italians we are.
Exactly.
Like descendants of Italians, because it's like all the food that I'm super used to eating when I went to Italy to visit, it reminds me of everything I have there, like the pastries, the pizzas not so much because the dough is a little bit different. Pastas, I mean the typical things that you miss when you are away from home are mostly Italian.
Okay. In relation to salty food, we are really famous, worldwide famous, because we have asado. Many people think that, or many people say that it is the same as a barbecue. It is not the same. Maybe in the way that they are grilled meat, but that's all.
But not necessarily, because when you think of barbecue, you do not necessarily use wood or coal. I have seen many programs about barbecues, competitions and stuff, and they make it using gas.
The magical thing about asado and the smoked smell that the meat has is lost. So it is not, there's no way that it can be the same, because we are speaking about the method, the cooking method, but then the different cuts, meat cuts, are different, because the ones that we have here are not the same as the one you can find in other parts of the world.
No, of course. I was thinking that also another difference when you go into asado, besides all the ritual that we discussed in the previous chapter, is that in Argentina, most people consider that we eat it overcooked.
Yes, I agree.
So here, when you prepare it, they prefer it more like raw in the middle.
And it is not the way we eat it.
I mean, I don't like it.
Neither.
But I have to admit that there is a big difference in flavor and in texture of the meat when you don't overcook it so much as we do in Argentina.
Yeah. What typical food have you tried when you were in Spain? The first time you got there? Something that we don't have in Argentina.
That we don't have in probably the ham.
Okay.
The ham is not the same. I make this specific difference because in Argentina we consider that jamón crudo,
prosciutto,
and prosciutto, which is Italian, are the same thing as we have here, and it's not.
Okay.
The flavor is not the same.
The spices, the amount of salt that they add, if they are pepper or not, maybe the secret is there.
The most expensive one that you can buy is made with pigs that are only fed with hazelnuts. They are grown in Liberty, these pigs. They are kind of black for some reason. And they are allowed to walk around the trees, and they go around the trees, and they only eat these. So this type of ham has a complete different texture, and it's like more oily, and the flavor of the hazelnut is there.
That brings me to another topic in relation to food, that is, how are emotions related to food? Because maybe you're having an awful day, and then you decide to go for a meal like this one, and then your mood changes. I don't know if this is my idea or if it happens to people, that your mood changes because of food.
I think probably it does. At least when I'm having a hard day, I need like to reward myself eating something that I really like. So maybe our audience can join in this question and let us know if you do find a relationship between food and emotions. Right?
Or if they do, what emotion and what food they associate. And they can leave the comments in our Instagram account, that is the English capsules, to see how they feel in relation to this. Okay, so we hope that you have enjoyed this episode, this delicious episode.
Yeah, and we hope that you are listening to this episode having something very nice in your hands, like coffee and pastries.
Okay, so before we go, remember to subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Give love to our content and spread the word to help our channel grow.
Also remember that you can rate our episodes and comment on each capsule. Activate the bell so that you know when our next capsule is out. And take a look at the description and our Instagram account to take more advantage of our content.
Okay, so that's all for today. Bye for now.
Bye.